looking for trouble? You came to the right place.
When Elvis opens his mouth and he sings, you know him.
And we are rolling.
You understand him. You feel him.
And Elvis.
And that's just a very particular gift.
Elvis had so much raw talent and energy and passion and understanding of music.
He's so unique in just the extent to which he is known both visually and musically around the world. But there are lots of layers of perceived knowledge of what people think about his music. And one of the jobs that we have to do is strip that back and get the same excitement and electricity into those performances.
Baz is deeply involved in the music recording industry and performing artists and ideas about how to recreate and rediscover the music of that period and to put it out there in a way as if people never heard it before.
All right, let's get it on.
Elvis in the 50s, he was really punk, like really out there. Like the records are very charming, but the band was much more shredding, you know?
Baz really does see a lot of filmmaking as an operatic process in that he understands how much storytelling can be done using music. The beginning processes were just trying to get an understanding of the canon, because there are so many tracks, I think it's like 800 tracks to go through and really pick out the favorites.
I couldn't make the decisions based on, look, let's just put the hits in, or, you know, personal taste. It had to be what told the story. And it's really difficult because there are so many, just what I would call gems.
No, don't mess around with me.
What's interesting is he loves country music. There's blues and there's gospel. And he synthesizes that quite naturally.
Oh, we've been so lucky with the musicians that have been involved. We have Shannon Sanders and Lanisha Randolph, who are playing our preacher and our featured singer in the gospel session in the Pentecostal church.
The beautiful thing about Baz and his process too is that he's always looking for something real. And that's it. That's why we're here right now. It's my first time being in a movie. But he saw authenticity in what we were doing.
I met Shannon back in Nashville, and we went out to this old church, and Shannon led the congregation. And as soon as they started singing, I felt this tingle go down my spine. And it wasn't just about making music, it was about singing from your soul and singing something that needed to be sung.
These people aren't actors. This music you can't fake. You got these kind of singers in the room, something's gonna happen, and you just wanna catch it.
Gary Clark Jr. plays Big Boy Crutter. Shonker is Big Mama Thornton. Yola plays Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
It was really important to portray Sister Rosetta Tharpe because she's one of the principal creators of rock and roll music. No one had ever played like that before. And she's just giving birth to this whole genre.
I've studied blues since I was a child, and they're just some guys that you need to know. You gotta remember these guys invented rock and roll. And the impact that Arthur Crudup had on music, I mean, Elvis covered 3 of his songs and they ended up becoming big hits.
I was such a huge fan of Gary Clark Jr. Nobody really plays guitar like him. He's so incredible, and he'd learn these new techniques that were really old techniques, but the way that Big Boy Crudup played.
Baz was so focused on not just making this music sound good and like it was of the period, but making it sound authentic without being a karaoke. So he called actual musicians whose job is to, you know, pedal feelings.
To be here doing this film, you can get a sense of this is the real deal. You know, this is what Memphis was like.
I loved the scenes that we filmed in Beale Street and in Club Handy. It was just so alive, and it was really wonderful to film.
If there's one thing that Elvis just loved all of his life, it was music. He was someone I really believed was about bringing people together. And I think the story itself is profoundly meshed in American culture.
And cut! Great first team, guys. Great first team.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about and really discuss was looking at how we're going to address Elvis's voice and whether we'd be able to use all the original recordings, and this is before we cast Austin. Looking for an actor who could sing and try and actually sing the parts of Elvis.
Almost all recordings of Elvis before, say, the 60s, all those classic 50s tracks, you can't really use them to make a movie to because they're recorded on acetate. Forget that the technical quality is not that good. You can't actually separate the voice from the band and all the things you need to do to make a movie. So it's just not possible. So Austin trained and said, I will interpret Elvis young, and the older Elvis will blend with the real Elvis's voice.
That's all right, mama. That's all right.
We went to Nashville and Memphis, and we recorded an RCA where Elvis recorded. It was something like over 250 songs or something in RCA there, and it was my first time ever in a recording studio. And I was so nervous, and so slowly but surely, moments like that pushed me so far outside my comfort zone that the fear was still there, but it was a different experience. It wasn't crippling anymore. It was a feeling of, okay, we're gonna have to push through those moments because that's what Elvis would have felt, you know, and the first time he ever went out on stage.
Well, you may go to college, you may go to school, you may have a pink Cadillac.
Just one more time.
You may have a pink Cadillac. You may have a pink Cadillac, but don't you make nobody's fool now, baby. Come back.
Austin spent so much time working on his voice, working on his performance. It's astounding. But the fact that he's so capable to such a degree that that option exists, you know, it's exceptional.
Elvis could sing in any style, so he'd sing like heavy blues. You say, that's not Elvis. Or country and western, is that Elvis? He was vocally always really dexterous. And so Austin being such an obsessive, unbelievable work ethic, just relentlessly living, breathing, learning Elvis.
Come back, baby, come back, baby.